Warm welcome to all the viewers. I am Sarabjot Kaur and let's have a look on the top stories. President Ramnath Kovind on Tuesday morning boarded the Air India One B777 aircraft on its inaugural flight to Chennai. He is visiting Tirupati in Andhra Pradesh to offer prayers at the Sri Venkateshwara temple. This is the first flight of the newly acquired Air India One with the head of the state on board. The aircraft is fuel efficient and has longer range than the B747-400 deployed for similar VVIP operations. The aircraft has state-of-art interiors with reduced noise levels. On the occasion of the inaugural flight, President Kovind commended pilots, crew members and the entire Air India team and the Indian Air Force for operating the state-of-the-art aircraft and facilitating VVIP movements within India and on state visits abroad. Within 24 hours of the partial restoration of train services in Punjab, members of the Kisan Mazdoor Sangharsh Morcha blocked the railway track at the Jandiala railway station in Amritsar district. Due to the protest, the route of the Golden Temple Express from Mumbai Central to Amritsar had to be diverted via Beas and Tarantaran. Besides, one goods train had to be stopped at Bhaktawala railway station. VP Singh ADRM said the members of the KMSM blocked the railway track around 3 am. The members of the Farmers Union insisted that they would allow the trains to move ahead only after checking the trains. Punjab has little reason to say cheers as far as its investigations into spurious liquor are concerned, with the Punjab and Haryana High Court finding that the state was skipping qualitative tests to detect whether the liquor flowing in was fit for consumption. Taking a serious view of the omission, Justice Arvind Singh Sangwan has directed the State Director General of Police and Home Secretary to file affidavits on providing adequate setup for conducting both quantitative and qualitative tests. Justice Sangwan also made it clear that the police and excise departments were duty-bound to get both qualitative and quantitative tests conducted to find out the contents. If an accused sold spurious liquor in the market after marketing it as branded, it could not be said that a direction by the court, the police, the department or the excise department was required. West Bengal's ruling Trinamool Congress MP from Basirat, Nusrat Jahan, slammed the Bharatiya Janata Party for using religion as a political tool to consolidate their support base ahead of the state assembly elections. She also spoke about love jihad, dubbing it two separate things which have no correlation. The Trinamool parliamentarian said the love and jihad are two different things which do not go hand in hand. She said it is a matter of personal choice who wants to be with whom. Netflix India original series Delhi Crime, helmed by Indian-Canadian director Richie Mehta, has bagged the Best Drama Series honor at the 48th International Emmy Awards. Told from perspective of the Delhi police team investigating the crime that made global headlines, the series deconstructs the case of the 23-year-old physiotherapy intern who was abducted and gang-raped in a moving bus on the night of December 16, 2012, before she was abandoned on a Delhi road. Her injuries were so grievous that she died in a Singapore hospital a fortnight later. In a shocking incident from Karnal, a man allegedly threw his 3 children into a canal near Kulveri village after he had a fight with his wife. The children were identified as Shiv, Janvi and Dev. Police have started a rescue operation, but the bodies are yet to be retrieved. Sushil Kumar, a resident of Nalipur village, was arrested and has confessed to the crime. The residents of Nalipur village said the Sushil, a juice vendor, was alcoholic, which was the reason behind arguments with wife baby. Worried over the sudden spurt in COVID cases, the Himachal Pradesh cabinet imposed night curfew in 4 districts, Shimla, Kullu, Mandi and Kangra, which are fast emerging as hotspots. The decision was taken by the cabinet chaired by Chief Minister Jairam Thakur. The curfew would be enforced in all these 4 districts from 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. daily till December 15, when it will be reviewed again. The cabinet also decided that the gathering at social, political, cultural, sports and other such events in open areas would be restricted to 200 persons. The fine on not wearing mask has been enhanced to ₹1,000. All the buses in the state would ply with 50% of occupancy till December 15th. Amid a surge in number of coronavirus cases in the city, Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal has ordered for an immediate procurement of 1,200 BIPAP machines for the new ICU beds being added in the national capital this week. He said the move would allow immediate operationalization of the new ICU beds. A total of 1,200 BIPAP machines would be procured immediately from the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research. Equity benchmark Sensex rallied over 250 points in operating trade on Tuesday, tracking gains in index heavyweights HDFC Bank, Maruti, ONGC and Axis Bank amid positive cues from global markets and unabated foreign funds inflows. After touching a lifetime intraday high of 44,358.71, the 30-share BSE index was trading 271.48 points or 0.62% higher at 44,348.63 in the opening session. Similarly, the broader NSE Nifty touched the 13,000 mark for first time ever as it rose 76.65 points or 0.59% to 13,003.10. HDFC Bank was the top gainer in the Sensex Packs, surging around 1.60%, followed by Maruti, ONGC, Axis Bank, L&T, Titan, ICICI Bank and Power Grid. China on Tuesday launched a spacecraft to collect and return samples from the moon, the country's first attempt to retrieve samples from an extraterrestrial body. A Long March 5 rocket carrying the Chang'e 5 spacecraft blasted off from Wancheng spacecraft launch site on the coast of southern island province of Henan at 4:30 a.m. Beijing time. Chang'e 5 is one of the most complicated and challenging missions in China's aerospace history, as well as the world's first moon sample mission for more than 40 years, reports Xinhua news agency. After weeks of waiting, President Donald Trump's administration cleared the way for President-elect Joe Biden to transition to the White House, giving him access to briefings and funding even as Trump vowed to continue fighting the election results. Trump, a Republican, has alleged widespread voter fraud in the November 3rd election without providing evidence, although he did not concede or acknowledge his Democratic rival's victory on Monday. Trump's announcement that his staff would cooperate with Biden's representation a significant shift and was the closest he has come to admitting defeat. Biden won 306 state-by-state electoral votes, well over the 270 needed for victory to Trump's 232. Biden also holds a lead of more than 6 million in the national popular vote. That's all for the day. Thank you.